Hi, friends. So we're just picking up where we left off here, and they are taking a peek at the sharks. And Miss Cherry has just told them, okay, follow me. They came to the coral reef. Wow, said Iris and Benny. Walter could not say a word. He watched the angelfish swim and shimmer, the hermit crab scurry, and the seagrass sway. Walter had never seen anything as wonderful as the coral reef. Are we going to see the penguins soon? Asked Iris. She really wants to see those penguins, huh? That's our next stop, said Miss Cherry, and she counted everyone again. Off we go, said Miss Cherry. They walked past the starfish. They walked past the seahorses. Oh, look, there are the penguins, said Iris, taking Walter's hand. Don't you think they're cute, Walter? But Walter didn't answer. Iris turned around. She saw a boy. You're not Walter, said Iris. I'm Nick, said the boy. Where's my class? He asked. Iris looked all around. There were crowds of children. She could not see Walter anywhere. There you are, Nick, shouted a woman. I've been looking all over for you. Nick grabbed his teacher's hand and held on tight. Iris ran to Miss Cherry. Miss Cherry, I can't find Walter, she said. Walter's lost? Asked Jenny. I can't find him anywhere, said Iris. Chapter 4, The Rescue. Don't worry, said Miss Cherry. I will find Walter. Now I want everyone to stay with Jenny's mother. Please let me come with you, said Iris. Miss Cherry looked at Iris's worried face. Come, Iris, you and I shall find Walter, said Miss Cherry. They walked past the starfish. They did not see Walter. They walked by the seahorses, but Walter was not there. Iris thought about Walter, lost and alone. Poor Walter, he must be really scared, she said. We will find him, said Miss Cherry, but there were so many people. How would they ever find Walter in the big crowd? Suddenly, Iris saw him. There he is! There's Walter! She cried. Walter was still standing in front of the coral reef, watching the fish swim around and around. Walter, we've been looking everywhere for you. We've been looking for you everywhere, said Iris. Huh? Said Walter. I was so worried, said Iris. Why? Asked Walter. Because you were lost, said Iris. I was? He asked. Iris and Miss Cherry gave Walter a big hug. I'm very happy to see you, Walter, said Miss Cherry. And now I think it's a good time to have our picnic, don't you? Outside, the sun was shining. Iris and Walter played tag with friends. They sat under a tree and shared their lunches. Time to go, said Miss Cherry. When the bus pulled up in front of school, Grandpa was waiting. How was the field trip? He asked. It was fabulous, said Walter. We saw angelfish and hermit crabs, and Walter got lost, said Iris. Oh, no, said Grandpa. But I didn't know I was lost, said Walter. And I found him, said Iris. Then Iris and Walter told Grandpa the whole story all the way home. And now the when and where we are back at school getting off the bus from a fun field trip day. And that is the end, my friends. So I know that I was reading a bit quicker for this particular story, but I wanted to make sure that I kept your interest. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you go back and rewatch, I would love for you to really try to make those connections on certain pages or with certain characters in the book. And if you can, write those down and then also come up with what you think the author wanted you to learn from this particular story. Ask yourself, is this a realistic fiction book? Is it a good example of a realistic fiction book? And is there anything that I can take from this particular book and use in my own time when I'm reading to self, or even when I'm writing in my realistic fiction writing unit? So thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing and hearing from all of you again. Okay, bye, friends.